But if you're not worried about the dividend growth, that would kind of suggest that you're not really worried about the financial model and that sort of EPS of 7 to 9%. Just be interested to hear your sort of thoughts there.
No, I'm not really worried about that piece of it because it's such and the new CEO in particular, such shareholder-friendly management team. But are they going to start, sacrificing share and other things like that to get to that model? And I think that's a trade-off that they're likely going to be willing to make. In other words, they'll shed a bit of market share before they'll come off the 7 and 9, is my guess.
But surely everyone's in the sort of same situation here, and just given the sort of oligopolistic structure of this industry, why wouldn't the others just follow?
Well, if somebody's losing share, then they're gaining share, but then they'll have two choices. Okay, either A, I don't have to price as much, which we talked about, to have the same kind of financial growth as I'm gaining share, which if I were them, that's probably what I would do, because then that creates advantage over time, in terms of how you can, continue to invest back in your business to accelerate your competitive advantage. Or they could have higher profit growth, and they may make different decisions in different years in terms of how they want to handle that, depending on what needs to happen with regards to the corporate parent, be it BAT or Imperial, back in your country, in terms of what the contributions they need out of the United States, to get the corporation to where it wants to be, for the full year.
Yeah, sure. But if losing market share is the death spiral, isn't it almost a better thing for Altria to do is just say, look, we need to be more realistic. It's going to be a 5 to 7% EPS algorithm going forward.
Yeah, that's certainly, I think, a better thing to do than do a Marlboro Friday or when they went off invoice in early 2000s, which is essentially evaporated profit growth out of the industry. Let me put it this way: it reset profit growth, of the industry. So they perhaps may figure out a way to just they may lower their EPS growth profile.
Yeah. Do you still hold Altria shares?
I do, a lot.
And what's your? Are you going to stay a holder? Do you think?
Yes, I am going to stay a holder.
And is that just more for the dividend from your perspective?
It's the dividend, yeah. It's for the dividend.
Okay,
Yep.
I just find that quite interesting that you, again, we had what I would describe as a fairly sort of somber call on sort of Altria's positioning from here, but your sort of view is that you're going to continue.
Yeah, I mean, there's not many places you can go and you can invest and you can get a 5% yield and you can also have a dividend growth of 7%. It's a nice stock from that standpoint. There's just very few stocks that can offer that. So, and I'm not worried about that.
No, that's fair enough. It was just we've probably got about 5 minutes of your time left. Are there any sort of areas that we haven't touched upon that you've been getting sort of a lot of questions from other investors, or any other area you think we should have a quick sort of discussion about?
No, have you heard anything different from people?
Pardon?
Have you heard anything different or had an alternate perspective from people as you've researched?
Alternative perspective. I guess not. You're probably coming down more on the sort of the negative side of the background work that we've at least engaged in. I think the point you made, just providing the perspective and the context around sort of just how the cigarette industry